Hello. So this is our guide for basic camping um, tutorials. So right now we are going to essentially attack on a very common aspect or part of the camping trip, which is knot tying. So knot knot tying has many valuable or a lot of value when it comes to outdoors and packaging and first aid too. So, of the many knots that have been made throughout history, we will be showing you five essential um, knots. So, let's get started. So, as I've said, we'll be showing you five essential knots. And the very first one I'll be showing you is called a square knot. So how to do a square knot? It's a very simple and effective knot that uses two ends of the rope of equal size. Doesn't necessarily have to be equal, but this is the most commonly used for first aid, for bundling, and for camping. Um, this knot should also be the easiest one to untie, but should not be necessarily relied on for, let's say, heavy packaging and all that. So let's get started. First you get your ends of the rope right here, and then lap them over one over the other, and then the one above you shoot it under. Okay, and you pull them apart, and then you do the same thing as the first step, which is you cross them like this, but this time the right side goes under, and then you pull them apart. Oop. And you are under, and then you pull them apart. See? Square. Ooh, square knot. That's the first square. That's the first knot down. So one knot down. So the next knot would be the very commonly used bowline knot. This is a very sophisticated knot. More looks like what we use when men wear their bow or their ties. But it's a very strong and dependable knot. It won't. Why? Because it won't slip under any sort of tension, and usually it's called the rescue knot, and it's usually used for, well, as in the name, it's used for sailing or in a boat, for climbing, and for a lot of survival situations. So this knot creates a fixed loop, and it only needs one rope. So let's get started. So you take one end of the rope. Okay, you hold it in like that, and then you shoot it in. Get it up like this, and you shoot it. Hold your fingers like that, and then you shoot it through, and you shoot it up. So essentially, you want to be creating a basket through the hoop, and then what you want to do is shoot it over, under, and then shoot it through the hoop again. Alright, and then you pull it, and then boom, you got the hook. You got the fish. You got the hook line. See? Nice. Second hook down. So, besides the bowline and the square knot, we're going for the next big knot, third knot, which is the sheet bend. Now, the sheet bend is the best knot for joining two ropes of any thickness, any size, or any material, and it is very commonly used for fishing and camping. And this knot will always give you insurance that it will give you a strong, confident hold. And while it's still in its strong and confident hold, it is very hard to untie. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so it allows you to use two lines of doesn't have to be the same length, but one of them has to be in a sort of an arc shape, just like that, and the second line, just this, should be directly underneath it. Okay, so as we're doing this, this will be a very meticulous step by step. So what you want to do is take the top of the arc and shoot it underneath all of the lines, underneath them all. Okay, so the end product should look like this. Essentially, it should look something like this, like that, right here, just like that. Okay, and then what I want you to do is take the same end and shoot it through this knot right here, like that, and then essentially just pull, and voila, you have the knot. Strong knot. So we're on to our fourth, and this is probably one of the easiest ones to do, which is the 2/2 hitch right here. So it essentially just needs one rope, and that's it. Like any solid like surface, like a branch or something. So this is a very reliable let's just say like knot for anything that you need to put on an anchor point. So this is this is commonly used in tents, securing tents, and it tightens load, like any load that you're bringing. And this is a very versatile use of knot. So let's get straight to it. So as it follows. For example, this is your anchor point, and what you want to do with the rope is over it like that, make it hang like that. Okay, and then take this and shoot it over. Now you'll see it intersect here, right in the middle, right there. These two things. I want you to shoot this end, the folded over end, in between the intersection made here. So shoot over under and then shoot over here. And then you just pull. Ooh, there we go. See? Reliable, strong, simple knot, but assured persistence. So this will be the next knot, which is called the clove hitch. Now this is a very versatile knot. It's a very temporarily good knot for used for hiking or for to stake somewhere while you are climbing the mountains. It's pretty commonly used in for rescue workers, and this is the most adjustable knot to use, but it's not advisable that you use it for heavy loads. So here we go. So here's the start of it. So just like the last knot, shoot it over. Okay. Then over again. Over. So you're gonna make a cross. But as you see it, this time you gotta shoot through the thing. Shoot through the cross. And then just pull up. There. Glove now. Strong and reliable, just like the last one. So here comes our last. As you can see here, this line is going to be used for our taut line hitch knot. So to master the taut line hitch knot, it's to create this adjustable knot that holds great tension with any load while allowing for any easy adjustments. This is perfect for tightening tent lines, securing tarps, and other outdoor applications. This knot is essential for campers and adventurers who need a secure but very flexible hold. So, as we start, we need to shoot this right on top of the line, okay? And then you will need to make this sort of bow line right here, this circular bow line, right? Then secure the knot, shoot it once through, but instead of doing it one time, we need to double it back again. Okay, so it looks like that, dual, and then you drop down, connect it going to your left hand, okay, and then to secure it, tie it in a knot using the other line. So you shoot it through and then pull it up. There's the line. Okay, so this is the next part. This is trail signs, mountain trail signs. So this is very important in terms of communication, especially when for new hikers, right? And especially when the trail gets cold, meaning you have no idea where to go and all that. But keep in mind that there are a lot of things that can be used as mountain signals, mountain signs, right? Because these are good messages for hikers. So what we're going to be using right now is stones, right? So here we go. So as for the first signal, this will be turning or making a right turn. So pretend that this is your big stone right here, and usually all you need is just 3 stones for this: the big stone and two smaller stones. So hold on. So imagine this is your big stone right here. So put it here. One stone on top, and the other stone should be on the right side, right here. Okay? Right here. So that means, so this signifies that it is a right turn. Something like that. Stone, small stone. Time for the left signal, or making a left turn. Now the left turn, it's much more similar like making a right turn, except that instead of putting the stone on the right side of the big stone, you're putting it on the left. So it would look something like this. Here's your big stone. Right here's your big one stone on top. And then the next stone pointing towards the left. Just right here. So it looks like that. That's to signify taking left. Now here's the easier part. This is called going forward, or keep going straight. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is stacking 3 stones on top of each other. Okay, so it will look something like this. So big stone, long stone, up, and that's to signify that hiker should be moving forward. So here comes the last part of our mountain signals, mountain trail signs. So for the last part would be no entry, or do not pass here. Okay, so what we're going to do is take out the big stone and use 5 smaller stones and break them up into one line and make them sort of into a broken one line. You'll see what I mean. So you have these stones right here. All you have to do is place them apart, but side by side. So okay, 2, 3, and you need one more stone. Right there. This essentially means that the path has become dangerous and you should not pass. And the one last signal would be by far the best message you can give any hiker, which is I have gone home. Okay, so what you need here is a lot more rocks, more than the past other signals. So you need to use a big rock again. So it'll look something like this. So here you have your stones, all your stones here. Alright. Here's your example, this is your big rock. Okay. All you need to do is to create a circle around this big rock right here. So you're going spread out using all your rocks. There. So it looks something like this. It looks something like this. Like that. It looks like a circle. You have all your rocks around there. Right? And yeah, signify that it's been a job well done and we're safe back home. That's for our mountain trail signals. So now it is time for fire building. This is a very vital and very important part of our simple tips for camping outdoors. So before we start to the demo of the how to construct one fireplace or fire lay, reminder that anything used in the fireplace is essential, or is the most essential thing when you're in a camp. Why? Because it's used for warding off animals, it's used for cooking, it's used for drying meat, and all of the sorts above. So without further ado, let's go. So what we have here is the standard setup for fire pit. So right here we have the lay the layout, which is big sticks for the frame, and then right in the middle is where you keep the tinder, everything that you need to keep the fire alive or to start catch sparks and to start the fire. So starting off is we set the lid of the light of fire. Okay. So once you get the fire going, you start feeding it tinder, just like that. And then once it gets big enough, you start bringing out the big pieces of wood, like that. But as you can see right now, it is self-sustaining, so which is good. So as you can see, feed it enough flames, it becomes, or you feed it enough dry wood, it becomes self-sustainable, and tinder wouldn't even need to matter anymore. So the key tip to these things is a lot of dry wood, a lot of dry leaves and all that, and you're all good. You're ready for an outdoor camping experience. So now here we're gonna start with one of probably one of my favorite parts of basic survival camping, and it is bolo. So why is this important? Well, bolos are used for bushwhacking, for collecting dry wood, for the fire starting, for creating fires, and well, it serves as a good defense tool for outdoor, living things or other living animals. So we'll start with three different chopping methods, which is chop, bucking, and splitting. So let's get started. So guys, as you can see here, we're gonna start with the very first chop, or well, I said it, the chop. So you have here a piece of wood, whatever, get your bolo knife, and the point of this chop is you don't want to go straight in the middle. You have to go against the grain, so slightly slant it and then strike. Keep striking it until it snaps. See? So that's the chop. Also, when you're doing the chop, you must continue forward until you have cleared, or you have completely chopped off your thing in half. Okay? Remember, never go straight down, always go against the grain or slightly slanted, just like this. On to the second chop. So the second chop is more how do I say this, more complicated. Why? Because it's called bucking. Why is it called bucking? Well, the point of it is when you do get your bolo and then something you need to cut, the point of bucking is you have to create a sort of wedge, so you're cutting down into the thing in a triangle motion, so like that. So that's the goal, so you're cutting it until you get a sort of hinge, which makes it easier for you to snap it in half. Alright? Remember, always against the grain. The last and pretty much the least part about this is called splitting. This is where you essentially want whatever you're cutting is to be cut right down the middle. What do I mean by that? It should, instead of it being in a horizontal, it's supposed to be in a vertical view. And then you put your bolo right down the middle, right? And then you smack it down until it splits. Okay? You have to continue putting force on that until it completely snaps all the way down and right down the center. Right? So that's 3 ways to chop using your bolo, and on to the next one. So here we are. Here's one of my more favorite parts of the whole tips about camping. So this is basically the tent or the camp tent setup. So camp tent is a very essential piece for hikers, or how for providing shelter, comfort, and protection in the wilderness. It serves as a safe haven against harsh weather conditions such as the rain, the wind, and extreme temperatures, helping all people who go outdoors, like hikers, like survivalists, to stay dry and warm. Well, a tent also offers a bunch of protection, or a good amount of protection against small critters like insects, like mosquitoes, and beyond that, beyond protection, it's also a very crucial part of enhancing overall outdoor experiences. Whether you're staying overnight, you're exploring remote locations, or you're trying to or try to discover or adapt to changing weather conditions without compromising your safety. So whether you're going on for a long hike or you're doing multiple tasks in a day, choosing the correct amount or the correct materials for a tent, or rather, if you have your own tent, that'd be great. But if you're trying to make your own tent, usually all you need are uh, big big foundation, long big sticks, even if it's just three sticks, and a bunch of light leaves, big leaves, used for roofing. So the key here is durability, right? So the materials that you need, as I said, are 3 sticks and a big cover around it. So we're more or less making some sort of campsite or a campfire, like as the other previous video section. All right, so let's get started. So for anyone that doesn't have any formal tent, the most basic of them all, or the most basic formation that you can use, is just like the campfire site, where you put in a TP formation with big 3 sticks, just like this. All right, just imagine these are big 3 sticks, and then using the leaves and uh, dry padding that I told you for the other, you try and engulf the triad, the TP angle around it. It's more like covering it like a blanket, so it provides you a comfortable uh, shelter and stable foundation for when you sleep. Right there, see? And now here comes the final part of our five tips for basic camping. And this one is a very vital part of the whole experience, and this is first aid, or how you carry a body. Okay, so remember, when you're going on to trips or you're going outdoors, always bring disposable gloves. Why? So you don't carry any infections on your hands, especially when you do procedures, and you don't accidentally infect the person you're trying to save. All right. So, and also don't forget to bring a first aid kit. That's the most important. Right. So, let's go. Hey guys, so this is it. So, this is the body. For example, imagine this is a person, okay? And he's collapsed. You found out that, oh, he's collapsed on the floor, right? So what you want to do, okay, is before you touch the body, so you make the area clear. You check if it's safe for you to do anything, all right? And then check for a response, okay? You tap, either you tap them on the shoulder, you say, hey, are you okay, right? But if there's no response, the first thing you need to do afterwards is immediately call for professional help or emergency number. Okay? So after that's done, right now you would want to clear the airways, meaning you have to, if you got scissors, that's great, but if he's in a button shirt or whatever, you immediately take it off until the chest area, and then you lift the head up, chin to the chest, all right, and then you listen if he or she is still breathing, all right, and if, let's say, he or she is not responsive, all right, she's not breathing, what we need to do is immediately go into CPR, all right. So clear the airway, take off the shirt, cut it open, take it off, right? And then keep the arms at the side, right? And then what you want to do is put your non-dominant hand flat on the chest, right above the solar plexus, which is right here, right? In between the rib cage, and then right in between the open hand, you're gonna make a closed fist. You're gonna unwrap it with a closed fist in the middle. So you're like this when you're applying CPR. So you're going to press down like that. Remember, when you're doing this, don't use your entire weight of the body. All you need to remember is just use the weight of your arms and press down, because you don't want to accidentally concave your campmate's chest, right? And then every now and then, let's say after 30 or 40 presses, you check again for a response. So you're in out, you're out. If not, repeat it again. And if there is, allow them to sit up slowly on their own pace, and wait for the medics to arrive. That's how you carry your body. Don't rush into the whole process of things. It's highly encouraged, or it's highly vital that you stay calm in these situations. All right, so that's how you care for a body.